Hey guys, what's going on? This is going to be a video for the best free-to-play units in this game currently. Now that they are actively, they have a life cycle where event units eventually become in-the-box laboratory of experiment units. Eventually they start cycling out. The free-to-play, the quote-unquote free-to-play units are now getting better and better and better. That's not to say that you're going to be able to beat Pantheon units with these units. Probably not. Most likely not. But if you are looking for the best quote-unquote free-to-play units, these are the best. And Genie, whether you like it or not, is now a free-to-play unit. It is currently in the game in Laboratory of Experiments. As soon as Twins comes into the game at the midpoint of the month, whenever Festival of Talents comes out, it is going to be a non-Pantheon, non-event unit. It will be about as good as Robot. And the other deck is obviously going to be a Banshee deck. I'm going to show you two gameplays, but I thought that I'm going to show you two gameplays. One is something that I just started working on, and I am in no means a Genie expert, which is why I haven't done a lot of Genie gameplays. It's why I haven't done a Genie character spotlight, because I haven't played Genie enough to think that I'm good enough to be a Genie expert and to do a character spotlight video showcasing, all of the nuances of a Genie deck. Because like everything, even though something might sound easy, or like something, there's always nuances to everything. There's always secrets. There's always the most efficient way to play something. And there's so many, like cards in the game. Do you run a Harley Quinn? Do you run a Trapper? What are the benefits of either? What is better? Because one will obviously be better. Should you use a Mari? Should you use a Mermaid? Should you use a Gadget? And with all the bonuses that they have given Mari, I thought that I would try it. And I actually do really like it. I haven't played with it a lot. I played maybe 2 games now, and I'm going to showcase one of them. But these are all the benefits that Amari is going to give you. So with my Banshee deck, essentially the way that works is you don't really win with Banshee. You win because the games go on for so long that you're able to build Mari stacks, and your Mari stacks will equate to giving your opponent bigger, beefier monsters as the game progresses. You're speeding up their monsters with it. You're sending them monsters with it. You're also gaining mana every time you use your your Mari activation. You have a defense reduction. You have a damage transfer. It does so much for you that I don't think a Mermaid does. But I'm going to showcase that gameplay as well, where I get beaten by a Genie deck with a Mermaid, and I have 1,000 more crit than the person, and it's insane, and it just makes me believe that Genie is now the best. It's going to be the best free to play unit. I mean, like, obviously the 20% Pantheon bonus is a thing, but that's I don't think I thought that I in that Banshee Genie gameplay that I'll showcase second, I really thought that I might win, and I definitely did not win. I got like super bedlammed at the end of the game, and I was just like, well, that's it. But anyway, so the basis of Genie, if you don't already know, is you're using Magic Sultanate, and the 2 spots that you want to place your Magic Sultanate is obviously going to be right here and right here. What Magic Sultanate does is, as it merge ranks up, it's going to give each adjacent or each touching Genie a power boost. So it's basically a Knight statue. It's going to give these 2 Genies and these 2 Genies and these 2 Genies and then those 2 Genies. The double T sections. It's going to give those Genies a power boost. Now, the way that Genie specifically works is when you summon in a Genie, you get a stack. You get a Genie stack on the bottom right here. And that equates to more percentages of damage, and the more stacks you get, the more damage you get. And the way that it works is if you summon in a genie in a line, it basically works kind of like a tic-tac-toe. So let's say you had these two genies right here and nothing else on the board. When you summon in this genie, you made one line that equates to one stack. If you had, like, let's say, what's a good example? This genie, this genie, this genie, and this genie. And then where the Sultanate is, you decide to summon in a genie right there. You've made two lines, one going there and then one going there, and you get two stacks. The optimal way to do this is obviously going to be in the center, because if you have all the genies surrounding it, and you summon in your this center genie, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks, and that's basically the crux of how genie works. You want to summon in a genie. You want to build out the board. Where the T sections are going to be your most important. So these three, you have your two Sultanates right here. This genie and this genie are pretty much non-important. They're not touching any of the Sultanates, so they don't get the power boost from it. But like I just stated before, when you summon a genie, when you summon it, no, that's not it. Is that it? Once you summon in a genie right here, you're getting all of those bonus stacks. And if you don't have the two genies, when you don't have these two genies here, the only stacks that you're getting are going to be this one, and this one. And then you're missing out on an extra stack. And that extra stack can theoretically matter with the amount of times that you're going to be able to do this. Now, whenever you press your... this feels like a character spotlight video. I assure you it is not. I feel like I just haven't talked about Genie ever, so I thought I would do it in depth into this one. When you press your mana power up, your center square is called the Lamp Prison, because you're going to be using the Lamp Prison ability or talent. When you press your mana ability, your center square, no matter what unit is in it, is going to turn into a genie. So you could have a level 1 scrapper in it, and once you press the button, you're going to get your scrapper is going to automatically become a genie, which means that if you have everything around it, you're going to be getting max stacks. The way that this starts to become crazy is that at level 15, you get double mana activations, and so you have the ability to summon in a thing, and then you could, if it's a level 1, and then you can merge into it to make it a level 2 anything. If it's a genie, cool. Now you have a level 2 genie. If it's a scrapper, you can press the mana ability again, and then get stacks again, and again, now you have a level 2 genie. This is why Genie is so good. It's specifically the Lamp Prison, and the ability to manipulate your board to where you can level up your board over the course of the game. Think of it like this. If you ever play Equilibrium Monk, when you have the talent where you can press, when you do the mana activation, your next genie or your next monk merge can transform a non-monk into a monk. But if you have a full monk board and you merge 2 monks, you can now get a higher level, you can get an automatic higher level monk. That is basically how this works, but this is better. Not only do you get double activations, but you can change things that are not genies into genies to get more stacks, to to combine your board. You can combine 2 level 2s into the center to get a level 3, then combine 2 level 3s into the center to get a level 4, and then combine 2 level 1s to get a level 2, and then combine 2 level 1s to get a 2, and then combine those two to get a 3. And you can manipulate your board in that way so that not only are you getting bonuses from your scrapper hits, but you're also getting level ups through your mana power ups. But you're also getting Mari activate, or you're also getting Mari tokens that you can then manipulate with your Harley Quinn, which is why I really like it. And you can combine. So if your 2 Sultanates are not getting leveled up because scrapper hits are random, you can also use your Harley Quinn on your Mari tokens as dryads. So you're essentially kind of doing a dryad scrapper combo without the negative benefit of having a dryad and a scrapper in the same deck. But it's still kind of like having a dryad and a scrapper in the same deck with scrapper at full benefit. The other thing that you can do to manipulate all of this, I'm saying all of this now because as soon as I play the gameplay, there's no way I'm going to be able to slow the gameplay down enough to explain everything that's happening. The other thing that you can do is I'm running Harley Quinn as opposed to Trapper, and the thing that Harley Quinn does is it gives you opportunity to get even more stacks. It's currently wave 5, and I have 281 genie stacks. If you have a Harley Quinn, you can obviously, with your gunslinger, move a Harley Quinn into the center, copy a level 1, and then merge 2 level 1s into the center, and then if it becomes a genie, then cool. If it doesn't, then you can use your mana power up and then make it become a genie and then get more stacks. And then like the manipulation in this deck, the amount of recovery that it has, you could get grandmastered very late game and you can still recover somehow. If your 2 level 4s get merged and it's a level 5, but you have a level 6 gunslinger, you can then move the level 5 scrapper or whatever into the center, use your mana power up, and now all of a sudden, thanks, you just gave me a level 6 genie. That's cool. And you can do that and recover, and it's crazy. You could get bedlammed, you could get dark, you could get basically anything. Like a tribunal doesn't even really affect you. Getting warlocked. If you lose one of your sultanates, something else on your board will automatically become a sultanate. It is random, but let's say I just this sultanate that's a level 2 gets warlocked. What if my level 4 genie became a sultanate? Now I just upgraded to a level 4 sultanate for no reason. It's like, oh, thanks, Warlock. You did what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to lose my level 2 genie, and instead I'm getting a level 4 genie because you destroyed my level 2 genie. It's so resilient to so many things. It's very difficult. I don't want to say it's difficult to die, but it's just you have so many options to recover. So I'm going to just show you these 2 gameplays if I can. Oh, here we go. I'm going to just show you these 2 gameplays because I've already talked for 13 minutes and these 2 gameplays are pretty long. And I don't know if I'm completely sold on Mari, but I do really like it. I think that it does a lot more than what a mermaid would do. I could see the benefit of a mermaid. I don't think you necessarily need it. The reason why the person was running mermaid, though, is because he was running triple abundance and he didn't have any way to cleanse. So you kind of have to run a mermaid. But with that being said, I am going to show you the one that I did with Mari first. And then I'm going to show you the Banshee when I was playing Banshee versus a Genie. And the Genie player definitely beats me. And Banshee is still really good. I don't need to talk about Banshee anymore to try to convince you. Like, I have an entire character spotlight video on Banshee if you want to watch that. I just did a video about Banshee. I am very all about Banshee. This person that I'm facing, I didn't think that he was going to win, and he doesn't, obviously. He has 5,000 crit, I have 6,000, so I have 1,000 crit on him, and it's not the good version of the deck. He has a Reincarnation 1, Bruiser, but he doesn't have the talent for Reincarnation 1, so he's just getting the plus 1% off of it. And I think the better version is Witch, the Gift of the Raven Witch version. But he's running, Trapper Kobold. I think that he's playing it just also in such a weird way. He does a lot better than I would have thought. But yeah, anyway, you can see, I'll let you watch this, and you can see how much manipulation you have, with having, Mari as your, hero. Being able to get a whole bunch of, the Mari tokens early on really, really helps. And then you can just watch, like, the manipulation that you have with Genie. I have a level 2. I have the ability to copy it into a level 2. Move it out. Move the Harlequin in. I have double mana activations. Combine in. I get a Genie. Never combine in above your Gunslinger rank. You need to rank up that Gunslinger. The games that I definitely lose are the games that I forget to rank up my Gunslinger and my board gets out of control. Once you don't have the ability to move things into the center, to combine things, that's when you start losing. That's when it starts getting a little crazy. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. I meant to talk about that. So, Kobold. You'll notice that I have a Kobold square in the center. I am starting to be a believer that you should probably keep pressing the Kobold button until you get a Kobold square in the center. It doesn't even matter where the other one is. You're never going to use it. You can use it if it's one of the corners. You could theoretically use it, but it's not important. The important one is the center one, and I'll tell you why. Normally, I used to care that at least one was on the corner, but if one is on the corner and one is not in the center, if you combine into the center, right, and you get a Kobold, what you're now forced to do is move your Gunslinger into the center, then move the Kobold into a corner. When you move the Kobold into the corner, so you have to move you have to move your Gunslinger into the Kobold square in order to move it out, and then you have to now move the Kobold into you move your Gunslinger to where the Kobold square is, and then you have to move your Gunslinger into the center in order for your Kobold to go into the corner. That's what it is. So now you've used 2 activations of Gunslinger. Your Gunslinger is now on cooldown. You now have a Gunslinger in the center, and now you have to move the Gunslinger away in order to summon in again into the center. And if it's another Kobold, now you have to do the exact same process again, as opposed to if you just have the Kobold square in the center. Just, like, honestly, you can try it both ways. I think. I'm 95% sure about this. Just keep pressing the square, the Kobold activation, until you get one in the center. Do not try to deal with it where it's just on the corners and, like on one of your Genie spaces. Your Genie spaces are basically set. You're not going to move those. You're not going to move a Genie so that you can put a Kobold there. The best that you can do, or the only option, the only other option is having it in corners. Try 2 games with this. do 2 games with this strategy. Do 1 game where you have your kobold on the corner. Do another game where your kobold square is in the center. I'm telling you right now, I'm 95% sure about this. It's so much. It makes your game so much easier. Anyway. Just like that, right there. And then just automatically being able to summon in again. It makes your game just flow. See, right here, I have a level 2. But because my level... now I have a level 3. So that now means that I can get rid of all my level 2s on the board. Because I can keep merging them into the center. And either just merging into a level 3 genie, or using my mana power up to then turn them all into level 3 genies. That is why and then you can also merge into a Harley Quinn, which you can then also get a level 3 genie and get the stacks. See, right here, I'm trying to move a level 2 in. Right here, my kobold is a level 1, but I have the 2 Mari tokens, so I can now upgrade the kobold. I don't have to wait for a scrapper to miraculously hit it. I can just self-level it up. Or I can use the 2 Mari tokens and the Harley Quinn to get a level 3, and I could... and it might have been a better decision. I could have leveled up the gunslinger, just to an automatic level 4. You should be catching scrapper hits with your gunslinger, but sometimes like you play games and there's just so much going on. There's just so much that you're trying to do that you just keep missing scrapper hits. And catching scrapper hits with your gunslinger so that you can constantly merge up your board with the square. The lamp prison square is so important. Anyway, I end up using it on the genie. I use it on the sultanate. I should have either leveled up the kobold, because it's a level 1 nothing. Once you get to level 7, a level 7 kobold, your 15 ability, your level 13 ability gives your entire board 21% crit damage, which is why everybody is running crit bow. The amount of crit damage that your genies do, especially with the reincarnation abilities, it gets pretty wacky. And as a higher level player with 6,000 crit, you should be utilizing that crit in crit damage. And then giving your board 21% more crit damage is crazy. On top of that is crazy. I need a level 15 Harley Quinn. That would make this even easier. I have this level 1 Mari token, and I should level up my kobold, and I'm still not doing it. That would be the thing to do. There it is. You can also combine scrappers, and because I can combine up to a 3, as long as I am able to summon in a new scrapper, I can now merge the scrappers into the center in order for and then have that be an additional way to get a high level genie. I can just lamp prison it away, and then I already have another scrapper waiting. There's so much manipulation in this deck. Like it just, everything just works together. It's really good. I mean, I don't think you needed me to tell you that, but it's really good. There's just so many things you can do. Look at that. Rewind that. Like, I had a Harley Quinn that I was able to Harley Quinn the corner, and then merge the two, and then get a, what was it, like, and merge the two, and then get a another genie. There is an idea that right here, I have a level 1 Harley Quinn on the side. I can't use a Harley Quinn unless if I summon in a level 1 Harley Quinn, I can't use it unless I have a level 1 genie. There is a strategy where you're also, amongst all of this other stuff, you're also supposed to keep a level 1 genie on the field for this exact reason. So that you can always use, if you summon in a level 1 Harley Quinn, you can always use it. Because right now I have nothing to do with it. And so now I have to just combine things in order to level up my field, and then I'll eventually have level 1s again. But if you just kept a level 1, presumably in the center, if you just kept them in those two spots that I told you I don't really care about, if you just kept them in these two spots, you just kept 2 Harley Quinns right there. I'm sorry, 2 level 1 genies. And you just kept absorbing with your gunslinger. If you just like kept an eye on those 2 spots, these 2 spots, and then you just kept catching the scrapper hits that would normally hit those, you could probably do it that way too. That seems like actually a pretty easy way to do that. And then whenever you summon in a Harley Quinn, you can auto copy a level 1, as opposed to having nothing to do with it. There's just so many things that you can think about. You have to think about. And again, I don't even think that I'm confident enough to say that I'm in any way an expert on genie playing. These are just all the things that you learn over the course of just playing a couple of games. Just all the things, all the different things that you can do to manipulate everything. And then there's like additional strategies. There's like things that you could theoretically start the game with your 2 lamp prison, or I'm sorry, you can start the game with your 2 sultanates and then just scrapper away and get them to be level 7s, and also level up your gunslinger and just keep eating everything to where the only things on your board are the 2 sultanates in those 2 spots and a genie. And then you could start the game with like 2 level 7s and a level 7, gunslinger, or a level 6 gunslinger, or whatever. You could start the game with that as a strategy. I don't think it's good, because you then have to build your board after the fact, and you run through a lot of mana trying to do that. I've tried that strategy before, and you run through so much mana, and you have nothing. You have basically, I don't want to say nothing to show for it, but you have no stacks. But once you start trying to build stacks, then you have more genies on your board that have the ability to get upgraded, as opposed to your main sultanates getting upgraded. There's just so much give and take with this deck, or with strategies, and it's trying to figure out what is the most optimal strategy, And that's what I mean whenever I do character spotlight videos. It's that I've tried so many different kinds of strategies, and it's like, what do I feel works the best? What do I think is the most efficient? And I just haven't come up with anything. When I say that I'm not an expert by playing Genie, I'm saying I haven't tried enough strategies to see why they work or if they work, if that makes sense. I'm just constantly looking at my gunslinger level, and I'm looking at all my other, my Genie levels, and if they're not all equal to my gunslinger level, I start merging some stuff. You start merging, you just gotta start merging some stuff. I started talking about Banshee and how it wins, and where, because of Mari, essentially you're giving them higher level monsters, or higher health monsters, and you're giving them speedy monsters, and you're giving them monsters in general. Not only does Genie do a lot of damage, I feel like if you start going into late game with this deck, you can also win in the same way that you would win with a Banshee deck, because over the course of this entire game, I now have 70 stacks on Mari. And so I'm sending him bigger and bigger monsters, and eventually they will become speedier and speedier. And like, you could win just with that. You could win with just Mari tokens. Not only are you overpowering him with 505 stacks of Genie, but you're also overpowering him with 76 Mari stacks. And I have 113 Kobold stacks. Like, there's just so many avenues of being able to win. Not only does he have the 3 bosses, but he also has 115 million Mari token. And another 115 million Mari token. Not that that's a lot, but it's something. And 2 more 115 million Mari tokens. Like, when this, like, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. Look at this. Look at him trying to defeat this Mari token. You could just win off of this. It's so dumb. Mari is so good. It just does so many things. I've been playing so much Banshee that I was like, what if you just use this? and I thought it was really fun. This is the really big game. I'm still a firm believer that Banshee is very good. These are truly the two best, the two, like, most resilient free-to-play decks. I think a lot of people would argue that Robot is. Maybe somebody already has. Maybe somebody watched the first 33. They stopped, 15 minutes ago, and, just to write the comment of, like, you forgot to mention Robot. Robot's so much better. I don't like Robot. Honestly, I don't like Robot. I'm not into one-unit decks. I just got beat. I was playing against a Twilight Ranger, and it made me do a trillion damage and still beat me. I was able to absorb a trillion damage with Banshee. I say absorb because I wasn't dealing a trillion damage. I think he only had to defeat like 400 billion damage. But he threw at me a trillion damage, and I lost. And I lost against one Twilight Ranger. One 500 stack Twilight Ranger. If that thing gets Dark Priested or Warlocked or, just anything, you just die. And you have the ability to die just at any moment. He didn't. I'm just saying, it doesn't feel good when you get Dark Priested and then you just die. And with Robot, Twilight Ranger has a much easier way of cleansing. all you have to do is just, if you're running the cleanse talent, all you have to do is just merge a Twilight Ranger next to another Twilight Ranger and something will cleanse. I believe that's the mechanic. Presumably he had Mermaid and I forget what he had, but I mean, like, presumably he had counterspells and Mermaid. But I'm just saying, like, I hate 1-unit decks where your entire goal, like, I think Robot is like a 2-unit deck, but like, I hate decks where all that has to happen is, you know, just one thing, one Dark Priest, one Warlock, one Assassin, where your 1 unit dies and then you just lose the game. I don't like decks like that, and so I will never like champion for Robot. I think Robot's good. I've definitely gotten beat by a Robot. It's a crazy deck. It does a lot of damage. I will just never champion to say that Robot is good. I'd rather have the resilience of either of these decks. The amount of damage that you're able to absorb with a Banshee deck is madness. The amount of resilience that you can recover with the Genie deck is crazy. I think that these are, if you're a free-to-play player where all you do is just get regular legendaries and, you know, event units are too quote-unquote expensive, or it'll take too long for you to get, and you just want to get like regular Magic Dust, Laboratory of Experiment, you know, legendary box, legendaries. These two decks are essentially like free-to-play decks. It has Kobold and Gunslinger, and of the event units, those are the only 2 I'd really recommend. I'd 100%, if you're going to invest into any event unit, invest into Kobold and Gunslinger. They are just the best support cards. They have been created to be the best support cards. They do so many things. Both of them do so many things. That will help every single one of your decks. Once you get both of them, you will put them in every single one of your decks. And so I suppose in that way, this isn't a free-to-play deck, but besides the Gunslinger and the Kobold, like, both of these main units are free-to-play. A Genie is free-to-play, and a Banshee is free-to-play. And I feel like if you were going to invest into anything that's in that is an event unit, invest into Gunslinger and Kobold, because you will put them in every deck for the rest of time until they make Super Gunslinger and Mega Kobold. They'll do it. They'll do it at some point. Oh, I was actually, I was hoping that I wouldn't miss that one. Rewind that. I almost wanted to clip it out. It was the greatest scrapper hit into Grandmaster that I've ever seen. What it did was, if you didn't already see it and you don't want to rewind back, what happened right there was insane. The Grandmaster grabbed this one, and both of these were level 3s, so it was going to combine either, but I had a scrapper hit that hit both of them, and they became level 4s, and then it couldn't combine it into anything, and I lost nothing. I think it was that moment where I was like, I'm totally going to win this. This is an amazing game. Everything is going right. This is going to be perfect. And obviously I lose this. He's just doing so much damage. He just sent me 135 billion damage, you know, the Phantom. Like, yeah, like I saved that one. Right there, I got bedlammed, and I didn't even realize it until many waves later, when I was like, why am I not being able to kill this? Like, why? I was like, why am I not able to kill, like, right here? And it wasn't until, like, I don't know, like, maybe 10 seconds to the end of this round, I was like, why am I not killing anything right here? And that's when I realized about this guy, and I was like, I was trying to move it back, and it became a whole thing, and I was just like, I'm gonna lose this. Yeah, there we go. I realized it right there. But it's already too late. Like, I have no stacks on it, and there's no way I can, like, sacrifice. I don't have the time to gather 10 stacks on it. Wave 17. And then it just goes from bad to worse. Like, this is the, yeah. This happens. Obviously, I can only have 4 Banshees, which are the 4, and I was like, oh, this'll be fine. As long as I survive this round, I'll be fine, because this one will just give stacks to this one, and it'll be fine. This is gonna be okay. I can recover from this. Oh, I can't recover from this. Now I have 2 6s, and I have to get rid of one of them because I can't have 5. It's just, I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I'm just dead. I was like, what do I do here? Do I get rid of the 6s? Do I wait for that? I also have like a level, I have a level 1 over here. So I was like, okay, well, if this level 1 goes away, or no, when this becomes a level 1, I can merge both of them into the center, and then I'll have 2, and then I'll have 2. This will be fine. I don't need a gunslinger. Who needs gunslinger? I'll win. This'll be fine. I don't win. But that was my like, maybe this'll be fine. And I was like, this isn't fine. None of this is fine. Anyway, yeah, use both of these decks. Invest very heavily into these decks. I think they will take you very far, as like a non-event unit, non-chasing event unit and Pantheon person.